welcome to Have a Chat. We are live at Rogers Studio in Miramichi, New Brunswick, and we're happy to be here on this beautiful Monday. I'm your host for the show today, joined by my beautiful Audrey Lynch and Veronique Arsenault, who I really love spending time with.
We are all back together
We're
again.
all back together.
Feels good.
Yeah, Three Musketeers.
Always.
Beautiful Monday. Sun is shining. It's gorgeous here in Miramichi.
Great way to start our Monday being
It
together.
is. Yeah.
And speaking of a great thing, we have Veronique bringing us the quote this afternoon.
Yes. Well, I was thinking, it's March break, of course, here in New Brunswick, and I was thinking about, traveling and all of that wonderful stuff, because of course
People are on a break.
Yeah, and we all love to travel quite a bit. And anyway, so this one is what spoke to me this morning. So we travel not to escape life, but for life not to escape us.
Mm-hmm. You've got to live
Very
in the moment.
true. Yeah.
You've said that many times. You have to live in the moment, not take
That's
pictures
right.
of everything, but enjoy.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
Yeah.
Enjoy, definitely, for sure. Every day. I can still remember something that my mom had that sat in our kitchen, and I can't remember if she cross-stitched it or it was a little plaque that was up, and it said, live each day and make it a masterpiece.
Yes.
Live one day at a time.
And you never forgot it.
Never.
Right?
No.
But you know what I find too, because sometimes there was lots of March breaks where we didn't travel or we couldn't travel, and but I remember books were always an escape for me too.
Oh, me too.
Like I could get lost in a book and get lost in the fantasy of what that book was all about. So, as much as I love to travel now, I can. But I also, I remember those times too where just sitting quietly and reading a book was such a wonderful escape.
That's a trip.
Yeah.
That's a
it
trip.
was
That
such
can be a
wonderful
trip.
Relaxation,
I loved it.
learning,
Yeah.
and get you away from yourself and all
or
your worries.
listening to a great, song, and
Yeah.
sometimes I'll be bopping down, and I'm sure people see me doing it all the time. They think I'm crazy.
I do.
But
I
I'm
see
driving along.
Yes.
I'm driving along, and that song will come on, and I'm just singing for all I've got, and I'm like, yeah.
And that's when I pretend I don't know
Yeah.
you.
I know.
Like you're at a
Yeah.
stop sign, and I'm like, oh.
No, I'm like that at the gym. I've got my little headphones in, and next
too.
thing I know, I'm like, oh,
But you're
are there people
escaping.
noticing
You're
that
doing your
I'm singing
thing.
along? But I'm enjoying my music. Music's big for me.
Yeah,
I do.
and it brings
I
you
love
back
it.
to those moments where you first heard the song or remember those memories.
right.
And gosh, I love
Well,
it. Yeah.
I was away last week.
You were?
I thought you guys did a great job on the show. You
Oh,
made me
thanks.
laugh, and Jimmy made me laugh,
Yeah.
and it's
We
just
missed
so,
you for sure.
Well, it's just so
Definitely.
comfortable, and
Yeah.
it's so fun to sit and watch you guys. I went to Florida. I went to Miami and Orlando with Gerard and my youngest son because he
Yes.
wanted to break from university as well.
course.
Oh, yes.
He had written exams. He was drained. He just wanted to golf, lay around, have good
And
food.
he had some days off coming to him, so.
And to your point, Veronique, it's about getting away. And I've been there before, and it's lovely to be in the heat and to be waited on. The best thing, of course, was their company.
Yeah.
And spending
exactly.
quality time and
Absolutely.
laughter, and just escaping winter was nice, but escaping other people that you have to sort of answer to because you have
Absolutely.
to,
Yeah.
whatever it might be, to spend time with the family is
and enjoy each other's company without all those other distractions.
is a
right?
good word. Not having to go
Yeah.
to a restaurant and people come up and talk. I don't like that.
No.
Well, and that's I think a lot of people don't realize, and it happens to our politicians here in New Brunswick and in a small town, and it happens to our doctors and things like that. Because I've often been out with Gerard and Judy for supper as a family, and we've had like large family reunions, and people will come up to the table and say, "This will just take a minute, but I've got this thing leaking in my ear. Can you take a look?"
My hemorrhoids are hanging.
And I've seen it happen with politicians as well.
Yeah.
Our mayor or whatever will be out at
Yeah.
an event, and somebody will come up and say, "You know what? I'm not voting for you if you don't get rid of the 47 squirrels that are under my porch." Right?
Okay.
And I get it that
Yeah.
you're seizing that moment,
Moment
but
to-
sometimes they need to have a bit of a night out with their family and
Yeah.
friends
It's
too.
not the place to air
know?
your either medical or
No.
your, like you said,
Yeah,
political views
yeah.
or your whatever. Like
I
your
do
time.
enjoy that too. Like I've taken my family on vacation, and my husband and I have gone on vacation and stuff like that too. And what I do like about it is nobody knows us. So in a sense, it forces us to spend time with each other and get to spend some quality time
it.
getting to know each other
Yeah.
again, or taking that break and having a conversation, or having a meal where one person's not having to clean up the mess or cook it, or
and
I
discuss
truly
openly
enjoy
and
it.
quietly without any interference.
Well, and the wonderful thing about where we live is that we do know each other, right?
Yeah,
like
that
you can,
small community, though we absolutely love
like
it.
I love that. I love
Yes.
that
But-
99% of the time when I go into the grocery store, I will run into people I know I have a great say and everything is wonderful, but
Yeah.
there are those times where you're kind of like,
There
In
should
a
be
rush.
boundaries.
just let me eat without looking into your gooey ear, like, you know, like.
I know.
But anyway, I mean, listen,
No.
it's a small percentage of the time, but I can totally understand, like,
Yeah.
when, you and Gerard want to get away because it gives you that time together.
It certainly does. And we're back safe and sound.
Good.
Yes.
Vero, you were going to touch on the daylight savings time and let people know that they're going to get less sleep, is it?
Getting
So-
less sleep, but more light.
I know.
So
How
I
does it
get
work?
it. That
There's going to be a discussion here because we disagree.
I truly despise daylight saving time.
Hey,
No,
Because
I love it this time of year. I hate it in the fall.
I have such a hard time adjusting to it.
Me too.
Spring and fall, I don't care. It takes me weeks to get into a rhythm again. I
the
hate
same.
it. I despise
Oh, my
it.
land.
I
Me-
despise
me
it.
too.
I feel like it is gone. It should go the way of the dodo.
Yeah.
Like I get no sleep as it is. I have a really bad insomnia problem
Me too.
anyway. And now I'm about to get less sleep. And yes, you're right. I am so excited that I will
There's
have
gonna be
more
more
daylight
light.
at the end
And
of the
end-
day.
yes.
However,
It's
I
an
still want daylight savings to go away.
I agree
Well,
with
if they're
her.
going to change it, because some provinces have.
Yes, they've
Some
said no.
Don't change it at all. But I don't want to do it in the spring. Let's do it in the fall.
Okay.
If they're going to do it and make that decision, let's wait until the fall.
We could do a whole show, Vero and I, on insomnia, so we shall
Yes,
not.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Because
No.
it is an issue.
Neither
It
one of
is.
us sleeps.
No, and we still function. No.
I don't have good quality sleep for
Oh.
other types of reasons
right.
and stuff like that too. But yeah, it's definitely, we could do a whole show on.
We
you know,
should.
We should.
Okay.
We should do. We should actually. That's.
We
coming.
should be our own guests.
That's coming. I think we should do it because you know what? There are so many reasons for insomnia, and because I am so focused on fixing my insomnia this year, I am exploring every avenue.
Okay, let me know.
Yeah, I truly am because it's been about 5 years that I get about 3 to 4 hours of sleep a night,
I might get
not in a row. Not in a row.
no,
Like
I'm
I don't
saying.
get I don't get them in a row. And a real good night's sleep for me is 5 hours.
for me too.
Yeah, that to me is like I've slept all weekend.
Exactly.
And I still function. You function. We all function. But
Because
there
that's
are
what we've done.
Yeah, and there are so many things related to that. Like I find my memory is not as sharp as I would like
Of
it to
course
be.
not.
You know, because I'm not sleeping.
Sleep
right?
deprived.
But I'm so used to, and I love the fact that my life is as busy as it is, because that's what I thrive in that, and I get my passion, my excitement from my life.
Yep.
But I think there are so many avenues to fix insomnia.
Okay, well,
I
we'll
think we
bring
need
on
to
an
look at
expert.
that.
We'll have an expert. I was thinking
Yeah.
there's got to be someone in that field that specifically deals with, because everybody's issue to why they're not getting good quality sleep would be different.
Yep, I know.
Or it could be a combination of things.
Yeah.
Right?
So Audrey, you had a beautiful night out. My
I
son came home
did,
with
I
his
did.
girlfriend
Yes.
from Halifax, and they get home so seldom that I thought I wanted to make a nice dinner. I had tickets, which I did support.
Yeah.
The
Right.
event at the Vogue Theatre, Random
Yes.
Night of Kindness,
Yeah.
Random
Yes.
Act.
Yep.
That was held
random
this
night.
weekend at the Vogue.
Right.
We had Amanda Downey and a couple of the other participants who helped organize it
Joey
on the show.
Digno.
Yes. And I took my daughter Danae and her girlfriend Brooklyn, and we had front row seats. That's where they
Perfect.
wanted to sit to take it all in, and it was a great night. The room was rocking.
Rocking
So,
and full
yeah.
of talent. I mean, we
Very,
are blessed
very.
with what we have just in our own
do.
little
Oh,
community
absolutely.
in the
No.
city of Miramichi.
No, they put on a great concert. It was,
nice.
people were standing up, dancing in their seats, dancing in the aisles, which is what they wanted. They want, dancing right down front.
Perfect.
Which having front row seats was a little tricky if you weren't actually up dancing. But they sang
You had
some
fun.
great songs. We had fun. I think my daughter and her friend were quite impressed with, seeing a live band and seeing the saxophone and the trombone and electric guitars and the drums
Really
and the vocal talent.
I know. I saw you streamed a little bit of it.
I did. I live streamed it because
And I
for
like
those who
that.
couldn't go or didn't get to make it, have a little taste of and see what they're missing, so that maybe next time when they have something like that, they'll be sure not to miss it.
Well, see, I had bought a ticket, which I feel good about because I support the cause.
Yeah,
Even though
that's
my
right.
bum was not in the seat, I
Yeah.
still reached out and helped
No.
stamp the little
exactly,
boy.
and that's the way
so
I
did
looked
you.
at it too. I bought my tickets,
Right?
whether I was going to be able to attend or not. I wanted to support
Little
it.
Chester.
Yeah.
So that
Oh.
money will go so far in helping him medically and
Yeah.
the family to support their
His
travel.
dad got
their-
up. said a few words. He was a
emotional.
doll, yeah. And then we got to see pictures and video of Chester walking
Beautiful
in
little
his,
boy.
walking around and playing and smiling. And
It's got to be the
it
hardest
was.
thing.
Oh, I can't
It
even
is.
imagine.
Family,
And
yeah.
I had bought tickets as well. And Mom is doing really well. Oftentimes people will ask now how Mom is doing. She's doing exceptionally well, and she has come in so far, and she has some wonderful help right now. Temporarily, Edie McDonald and Lottie McLean have been fantastic.
Shout out to them.
Yeah, they've been
Yeah.
really amazing, and they are so kind and so
Good.
wonderful with Mom. But but she got a little tired Saturday. She had a little
Yes.
dizzy spell, so we ended up staying home. But we were kind of bummed to miss it. We had planned on
Me
the
too,
evening
me
out.
too.
Yes.
But again, I had bought my tickets, so at least
Yeah.
there was that piece of it.
was
But
a
yeah,
part of
I was a little bummed to have missed it.
Had
but
to be family first in this case.
yeah,
And me too.
and again, like Mom is, you know what, and I tell this to Mom every day, and she has no concept of how amazing she is and the work that she's done to get better, because she's
Yeah.
just about there.
It's been a marathon.
Oh, and it has.
Well,
like,
we've seen her in the salon not too long
Yes,
ago.
yeah.
And the other girls didn't know what she's
Yeah.
been
Oh,
through
yeah.
or anything else like that. And
looked good?
she looked great. She
Oh,
looked like there
so
was
proud of her.
She got her hair done. Of course, nothing makes you feel better than getting your hair
That's
done.
what my mom says.
And
Absolutely,
yeah, it
absolutely.
does.
Her
yeah.
hair is good,
No.
she's good.
Yeah, no, and
Exactly.
she's come a long way, and Mom and Dad are both so active, so for her it was really hard because all of a sudden she was not
Very
well,
hard.
and
I
I was
couldn't do what she.
no,
yeah.
but Mom's amazing.
Well, I'm very thankful, and I know
Yes.
how much you love your
Oh,
mom.
I know, she's my best bud.
And speaking of health on not such a great light, we still have to bring up the fact and keep people updated as they probably are watching
Yes.
news every day or reading a
Yes.
newspaper on it or online about the coronavirus. Now
Yeah.
it's
we do want to touch base on that.
89,000 people affected globally,
Yeah,
and 3,000 people have died from it
Yeah.
globally.
yeah, yeah, it's incredible.
But is it
No.
slowing down? I think it's starting
Yeah.
to slow down in China.
It
Okay.
is, yeah.
Is it?
Their rates of new cases and their rates of fatalities have decreased.
Good.
Okay.
Italy is hardest hit in Europe right now. Like they're getting smacked quite badly.
Bad.
Yeah,
Northern
they're
Italy?
they're kind of the epicenter in Europe.
Yeah.
But I mean, we are seeing some cases. I think we have 13 or 16 cases in Canada.
We have
Right.
24 now.
Oh, really?
There's 15 in Ontario
okay.
alone.
Yeah.
Okay, so there you go.
Yeah.
But I think we are. But again, and we go back to we talked about this a couple of weeks ago. But you know what? The flu, the regular everyday
Yes.
flu, kills
Influenza.
more people every
Yeah, I
year
know.
than currently the coronavirus
As of
does.
February 15th, I actually shared a post from a client of mine who is in the medical health and she's retired now, and she shared some information. And definitely check it out and put it in perspective.
Yeah.
As far as influenza, the numbers for the U.S. are astronomical of those affected and who
With
have
the flu,
died.
as opposed
Yeah,
to the virus.
That's right.
And
So-
they're saying repeatedly, the World Health Organization and every organization that deals with health across the world is saying, wash your hands.
Yes.
That is the best preventative
yeah.
is to wash your
Exactly.
hands, not just with the coronavirus, but with the flu in general.
Yeah.
And
No,
also
no,
to
no.
look if you're traveling.
Yeah.
If you're
Right.
traveling anywhere, there's a whole list on travel.ga.
Yes, yep.
Is there?
Yeah,
Okay,
and you
on
just
what?
look at anything, any travel destination they have highly. They're telling you to stay away.
Yes, yeah.
Or
Or-
giving you
okay.
fair warning.
Yeah,
that it
travel
could be
advisory, yeah.
Right.
Travel advisories giving
Right.
you every single country and where it's not advised to go, or that you're pretty much safe to go, like normal.
No.
Normal.
Because there was another cruise ship that recently was not allowed to
Yeah.
disembark in Jamaica because of suspect.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And they were like, "Yeah, no, nobody's getting."
But now
on."
my sister Jennifer lives in Barcelona,
Yeah.
and she
Yeah.
and her husband plan to come home. I think it's March 25th. So,
Okay.
what if in the meantime? I'm just saying, what if?
Yeah.
She has to be very cautious. She's
Yeah,
flying a long
absolutely.
distance home and coming into Canada, and
That's
like you
right.
said, it's in Italy now. So
Right.
Oh, yeah.
you have to look at the advisory for Spain and see,
Absolutely.
where she's flying into. Is it the problem
No.
there?
Yeah, and
you
I
have
mean,
to be your
really-
own advocate.
Well, yeah, and you have to take precautions, right? And I think there's no question that this pandemic is
And it's
severe
scary.
and
It is.
serious.
Nerve-wracking.
But we need to make sure too, though, that we realize that flu is not good either. Like in general, the
No.
flu
Yeah.
is not great
No,
either.
no.
So
there are
need-
things that
yeah.
we can be doing.
Yeah, we need to take precautions.
Yeah, exactly.
But
That's
you know
just
what?
it.
I like at this point, it's not going to stop me from traveling either, though.
No, I don't think so.
I
don't
can't
think
stop
there's-
traveling.
no.
I'm a little nervous, a little bit. I wouldn't be going to those places like Japan, which I did get to
No,
before
yeah,
it
that's
struck.
right,
Thankfully,
yeah.
I was there last summer.
Yes,
But
yeah.
now you would not
Yeah,
want to go there.
I'd be
The
a little
numbers are
more wary,
increasing.
for sure.
Yeah.
No, we have to be smart.
Yeah, you got to
Yeah.
be specific on where you want to go.
I just wanted to say that I had a woman Facebook me privately regarding our show, and she wanted to have someone on to talk about depression.
Oh.
And so,
Okay.
if there are people out there watching our show today that
Yeah.
know of a certain expert in the field, we know so many are affected by many forms of mental illness.
Absolutely.
But
Yeah.
I think that it's if people are reaching out to us to say, "Could you get someone on your show?" then we're very willing
be
and,
a
and
little more
active in
specific.
trying to get
Yeah.
someone to talk about it because they're reaching out for our
Yeah.
guests to give them
And we're always
information.
looking. We're actually always looking for show ideas, guest ideas, and things like that. And our viewers can check us out on Facebook
Yeah.
to let us know what their thoughts and ideas are if they know of anybody that they'd like to see. And we'll
That's what
definitely
I
More topics,
say.
yeah.
The people I meet.
We would love to hear from our viewers because it's for you guys that we do
That's
the show.
right. And
Right? We
I'll
want
say to people, do you have any suggestions whom you would like to see on? Maybe a gentleman on a sports topic, or
Yeah.
we should have someone maybe on curling or something. I don't curl
No.
myself, but that doesn't matter.
No, me either.
We
exactly.
invite everyone.
No.
I'm so happy to be here with you girls because if I was not here, I'd be home drying my dogs off and cleaning dishes. Because it was a really snowy weekend, and I
Was it?
spent more time with my
So
son
much.
and girlfriend and my husband drying off
Go
the
on.
dogs.
Yeah.
But I loved it. I love entertaining. I love
No,
cooking. I
that's just
love
it.
the whole thing. They said
I
I
have a
voted.
fun little question to throw out there.
Do
I
you?
know we're going to be going to break
Well,
really
yeah,
soon. Are
yeah.
we? Yes. Okay.
1 minute, probably.
Well, if we get the chance to, if not, what would you say is your most embarrassing moment? Something that you did or said or happened to you.
Oh my gosh.
One thing.
Well, there's so
I
many.
know you probably. Yeah,
I have 100.
Oh, go on.
So that's Veronique.
Oh, you know what?
there
I
anything?
have no problem making a fool of myself in public, and I've done it many
But
times.
something where you were absolutely mortified, embarrassed.
Probably the quickest one that comes to mind is the time where I said I was hosting the show.
Yes.
And I said,
Oh,
I meant
stop.
to say, and I'm with my fabulous co-host Judy. I said, "Hi, I'm Veronique Arsenault. This is Have a Chat, and I'm fabulous."
But that is,
that's right, too.
you gotta have to get
Yeah.
over that.
Yeah,
because
but it's probably the one that quickest comes.
I'll
to
think of it for you next week, Audrey.
Yes,
In the
definitely.
meantime, we're going to be having some very special guests on our show today. We have Melissa Hanley coming up, and she's going to talk about healthy legs and her position. I want everyone to grab their coffee. If you're having lunch, bring it right up to the couch and enjoy yourself. We'll be back very shortly. Thanks. Thank you for coming back to join us for another portion of Have a Chat. Again, I'm Judy Loche. This is Audrey Lynch and Veronique Arsenault.
All together.
All
Yes.
together on a fine, beautiful Monday. And we're
Yes.
into March now. Woohoo!
March.
It's a nice thing to turn the calendar to.
No, that's
Welcome, Melissa Hanley.
Hi, thank you for having me today.
For anyone who has not met Melissa, she is a home health care manager for Jean Coutu.
Yes.
And you might just want to tell a bit about yourself to the viewers.
Sure. I'm born and raised here in Miramichi. I'm married to Jamie Hanley, be 8 years this year. I'm also proud mom of two wonderful boys, Drayden, who's 15, and Hudson, who's 8.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
They
so
keep you busy, don't they?
oh yeah, definitely.
And good age
Little
difference,
boys.
right?
They-
yeah.
they-
Yeah,
keep you busy,
I'm
don't
not
they?
sure about a good age difference.
I think
but
it's
little much in between.
Yes.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
definitely. You're living it all.
Yeah,
I did the same with the
exactly.
7
Yeah,
years
you
apart.
did. Yeah, you
Yeah.
did. Yeah.
But Melissa, you're here to talk about a really important topic. But first of all, as I just said, you're a home health care manager. Tell us
Yes.
your role, your job description in that.
Okay, so pretty much if you come in to see me, we deal with hospital beds, walkers, wheelchairs, pretty much anything, to make your home stay a little bit better in case you have an illness, if you're taking care of a loved one at the time. We rent, we also buy out our equipment, like canes. Also, I deal with bracing, so wrist braces, back braces, knee braces, anything like that. If it needs to be custom made, well, I measure and we order that in. So pretty much anything dealing with home health care. And of course, compression socks, which I'm here to talk about today,
Which is-
and the importance of them, and healthy legs.
Healthy legs.
So
Healthy
compression
legs.
socks have such a bad.
Thoughts? Like you think
Like
that?
I think, oh god.
Audrey just loves
Restriction.
it
Yeah.
I'm like the
Like,
thought of
ow.
being restrained and restricted and just.
because you
the
like
first
your
thing I
legs and you
think.
like your heels.
Well,
and
and
you
I
don't
like
want
my heels. Yeah, that's just it. I live in heels like 8 to 10 hours a day, and
Which
I
I
do work
can't
in
even.
them because I have height issues for my job. But
Right. You have to be above the client in order to
Yes.
get their hair done.
no,
which-
exactly. And for
And you're
me,
petite.
very. So I either have to, for me, to raise my arms up, I have huge shoulder issues. So for me, I have stronger legs. I feel like I have stronger legs right now and
Yes.
feet and all of that so that it makes more sense for me to be taller
Yeah.
so that I don't have to raise my arms up.
Yes.
But I'm told that will come back to bite me
Yes.
tell us-
eventually.
Okay, so compression socks have evolved quite a bit.
Yes.
Right.
So compression socks, they're designed for compression therapy. So they apply gentle pressure to your legs and ankles, promoting blood flow all the way from your ankles all the way up to your heart.
So important.
So, it just keeps everything going, like minimizes so that there's no blockages, no blood flow. And if you're on your feet all day wearing compression socks, like
Like an airline stewardess.
yeah, like an airline
flight attendant.
stewardess, even if you work 12-hour shifts, like
Yes.
I used, like before I became healthcare manager, I worked in the pharmacy in Shakatuna for 11 years. So that's when I began wearing compression socks. Like I've been wearing them
When you
for
started to
15
understand
years.
the science of
Yes, so
how they work and why they work.
yeah, so you go home after a long day on your feet and
Your swollen legs?
yeah, your legs are sore, you're swollen. So I started wearing compression socks, and you wouldn't even know after a 12-hour shift, you wouldn't even know that you
Wow.
were on your,
Really?
I
on
sit
your
all
feet.
day though.
Yep. So
Same idea.
Like-
Like I sit all day. I do.
Yeah.
compression socks are for everybody.
Okay.
Not children.
Not just if you have a condition. To me, it's a prevention.
Yes.
So
Okay.
the younger you start, the better. If you're just getting into nursing, you're going to become a nurse. I had tons of nurses come in, after working. They've been working in the profession for 15 years, and they've come in and they've said to me, "I wish I had wore these 15 years ago."
Okay.
So if you're pregnant, if you work at a desk job, if you're sitting all day, well, everything is going down to your ankle. So your legs aren't elevated, so all the blood flow is going down there. Compression socks just keep it rolling smoothly. If you or a loved one are confined to a bed or a chair, in a wheelchair, perfect for that. If you're traveling, even driving somewhere, or definitely flying.
Yes.
If you get off a plane and like your ankles are...
That is one time I definitely
Yeah.
noticed swelling.
Your
is
feet?
Yeah.
Like your shoes
in
won't
my
go
legs
on
and my
right.
feet. That's when I do actually notice that there's don't take your shoes off on the plane. But you can't
No,
put them
it's
back
hard,
on.
hard to put them on.
You can't put them back on.
It's so
But you
scary.
have those compression socks on, you can.
Go
So yeah, when
on.
when I fly, I always I wear my loosest, comfortablest
Yes.
pants,
Yeah.
my loosest, comfortablest socks, my loosest, comfortablest
That's
shoes.
just it. And she's saying, no, put on
I
compression
just
socks.
flew, and I had been to see Melissa, and there's a vein behind my leg that is an issue because of the position where it's actually not
Where it
supposed to be
lays.
exactly where it is. So it's not a worrisome thing. It's more of a physical issue where it's just kind of misplaced. So it's putting pressure on. It's like a nucleus. Everything's kind of pushing little spider veins around it. So I had that injected, and I don't know if I like the result or not. It's only in the one leg because of where it is
Do you
placed.
experience pain
Nothing,
from it?
nothing,
No.
nothing.
It's just a visual.
I'm just very vain.
I'm
No,
with you.
but you know,
I'm with you.
there's worse
Yeah.
things in life than that, and no one even really notices it but me.
Yeah.
However, I went to see Melissa because I was flying and I had just had this procedure done, and it's actually a follow-up, right, Melissa? So you can talk more about that. When you do have something done with your legs, I've never had stripping or veins in my legs that need to be paid attention to, really.
No.
But this one area I wanted to get done, and I did, and then she said, no, and my husband, you should wear compression stockings.
Yes, for sure. Like you did, you went, your doctor wrote you a prescription for compression socks. Just so you know, most drug coverages pay for compression socks if you have private insurance. So then you would come in and see me. I would look at there's a few different types of compression. You can walk in off the street and get you can just walk in and buy them. You don't need a prescription. So that's a lighter compression. If you're diabetic, there's certain types for those.
Okay, there's different strengths. of
Different
them.
strengths, yeah.
Oh,
There's 3
okay.
different strengths of compression. So Judy's case needed a little bit more,
support
just
the
because of her
follow-up.
procedure that she
Yeah,
had done.
yeah.
Okay.
So then I took some measurements and then we ordered.
So you can
Right.
so you measure this because I'll be honest, my calf
Yes.
is quite large.
Well, a lot of women's are.
Well, no, I really
is.
I have not gotten compression socks in the past when we travel, and we travel a lot. We talked about that.
I know.
Because they don't fit my legs.
Well, there.
Well, they're custom made. So you come in,
Nice.
I would measure you. We would go through and, what do you like? There's so many different kinds. If you really, there's a lot of people that don't like the tightness on their legs and they're going to be so hot and I can't wear those.
Yeah.
And, there's just so many different options now. They're not dull and boring like when they first came out years ago.
Well, I love them.
They're more like designer.
Well,
yeah,
I
they're more like
the colors
designer.
even.
Yeah.
Compression
Attractive.
socks.
Tell us
Yeah.
about these.
This company is Sockwell. They're very popular.
That's pretty.
I just brought a couple of samples today showing you can get pure black, if you're not you can get really out there wild colors.
But in the winter, black's safe. Right?
Also, they
Yeah.
come in men's, very stylish for
That
men.
this is not just an issue
no,
for women.
this is not just a woman issue. Sorry,
Okay.
it's definitely men.
Suffer as
Yeah,
well.
suffer
from
as
different-
well. And even if they're working outside, in construction,
Okay.
stuff like that, they're amazing to wear, just for
Really?
overall health.
Can I
Do
just
they help
inter-
with?
Oh,
I'm
you go
sorry.
ahead. We all have questions.
We all know. We're just like, I want to fix my legs.
legs.
Do they help with tired feet, tired
Yes,
legs? Is that
tired
something?
legs,
Well, my
yes.
husband's in construction, so I was
Yes,
like, not necessarily have
definitely.
pain or have swelling, but that tiredness.
Tired,
that,
achy legs.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I guess my question was, what are the benefits and what is the reason for socks or tights that come just to the knee as opposed to ones that come up to almost the groin or the thigh?
Sure. So yes, you can get knee-high ones, thigh-high ones, and also pantyhose. Yeah,
But there's different reasons.
Different
to wear
reasons.
Different
So
types.
the knee ones are more for tired legs. Being on your feet, sitting jobs and stuff like that.
All
The
right.
ones that go above the knee, say you had vein issues already, and already pre-conditioned.
Okay.
So sometimes if they're running down the leg and by the knee, if it stops there, a doctor would recommend that you wear them all the way up to your thigh, just to
Yes.
so nothing's cutting in, everything is just kind of keeping everything. And then people just sometimes prefer pantyhose because they're a little bit more comfortable. Those are actually leggings. So they came out with leggings. They're 15 to 20. You can walk in, you don't need to go to the doctor for a prescription. You put them on, you put a pair of boots on and a long shirt. No one even knows that you have them on, and they're very comfortable.
And just
Wow, I
in case
like that
somebody
idea.
wondered, my legs are skinny, pretty skinny. So I had an issue, even though she measured me perfectly well, because that's what she does. I found that it was slipping on one leg.
Yes.
So she had like a very gentle, not a glue, but a very gentle
Adhesive?
adhesive
Stay.
that kept it
Adhesive.
up, and all I had to do was put it on the rim of the fabric, and then it just maintained and held it up, which was great because who wants it slipping down?
No.
You know.
Well, exactly.
exactly.
And when you measure something, like not everybody's proportionately.
No, your left leg.
One
and your
leg
right
could
leg.
be
Yeah,
bigger
yeah,
than the
exactly.
other, you know. So
For sure.
when you measure, you get a pair. So you
Mm-hmm.
can't get like one size in
Right.
one and one size in another. So yeah, there is options. Like it's called Stay Up, and
Mm-hmm.
especially for the thigh high ones, they are, you know, up to the knee. They're very comfortable. Sometimes people find they roll down because
Yeah.
we
Just-
don't have Barbie legs. Like
No.
Yeah.
No,
all the
exactly.
time,
That's just
so,
it. I think what
yeah.
people don't realize is when it comes to veins that I'm just starting to understand, because I think compression, you're telling me it helps better with blood flow and things like that, and I'm thinking restriction would not do that. It would be just the opposite. But I don't think people realize that your veins move as we get older and gravitate. This helps them keep them in place.
Exactly.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, and just keep the blood flowing and not so that it's all going down to the ankle and pooling there and just sitting there and then causing conditions to like come afterwards. Yeah.
Melissa, but it does come more often, like twice as often with women as opposed to men, doesn't it? The condition of veins and the varicose veins.
Yeah, I see a lot more women, but you know what? Like in the past 4 years or so, there's a lot of men that come in and they're just like, you know, I recommend a compression sock for once they tell me what their issue is going
Yeah.
on, and they're like, oh, okay, whatever, and I'm
Yes.
like,
Yeah.
you know, just try them out. There's not a week go by, they're back in getting a couple more pairs
Yeah.
because,
Oh, really?
yeah, like
But you know, men, let's be honest, we're a talk show here that enlighten people. Men have, like in their genital area, they have varicose veins in that
Oh, for sure.
scrotum area,
Yeah.
and that would be an embarrassing thing. Not only is it, no, it could be
Yeah.
a dangerous thing too.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
but do they have a problem coming to you and discussing that, because that would help with that as well? Would it not, or not?
Well, more so just keeping the blood flowing in through the veins everywhere. Like, you know,
Right.
your heart's way up here, so it's going to keep its way around, and most
Do you think
definitely.
it's serious outcomes from veins, like deep
Yeah.
Yeah,
vein
deep vein
thrombosis?
thrombosis. Yeah, exactly.
You see people after like
Oh
coming
yes,
in?
definitely. Yeah, come in for the compression socks, and it's usually a high. Compression socks come like 10 to 15 over the counter. Prescription is like a 20 to 30 compression. I wear 20 to 30, and then you get a 30 to 40, like something like if you had a procedure done or something like that. It just really makes it a lot more tighter and gets it flowing a lot
How long
faster.
does it take from the time you come in to get measured and you order it to it they come in?
No
The
time at
next
all.
day.
You're kidding.
Yeah, I was getting on the airplane and I said, I'm traveling, Melissa, and she
Yeah.
said, well, then you come in and get measured, and I went in and they were there. I just got the nude colored ones because I
Right.
thought they,
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
Well,
everything.
because I have to fly at the end of the month, so
Yeah.
that's what I was thinking.
And in the
Yeah.
winter, I'd wear
and
black.
these ones are already in store. So, you know, depending on what if you like something thin, if you're not don't like something hot. But yeah, no. Like,
Okay.
you know,
What about the condition restless legs?
yeah.
Is that something that
Something
it would help
that it would help
with?
as well. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
it
look
just
at that.
Very
I'm
common
just like,
problem.
it is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I have that.
if you have
Yeah,
circulation
exactly.
issues, you know, if your legs are falling asleep or anything
me,
like
it's
that,
restless legs.
You mean when
definitely
you're in a movie
restless
theater,
legs.
like,
Like
for
they're
example.
amazing. I don't even think I could not wear them now after
what
wearing them
about-
for so many years.
Yeah. What about arms then?
Yeah, we have arm sleeves.
Okay.
Yeah, arms.
Because I find I get a lot of buzzing and numbing
Yeah.
because I have the carpal tunnel setting in, I have the shoulder issues and the little pinched nerves and stuff like that. And that's what keeps me up at night is pain and this buzzing and constant numbing
Nervy-
and
nervous
arms
stuff.
Nerve
going
and
numb
stuff like
and
that.
all of it. I'm just like, I'm over it. I'm
Well, it's distracting. You have a
a
life
bottle
to
of
lead.
wine
Well,
every
exactly.
night. It's not helping.
Come to have a
It's
pajama
becoming
party.
an issue.
That'll solve
Yeah.
your insomnia too. But
Quick question. Now, mine, I will honestly say, like, I probably haul on them too hard, and I have a couple of little runs already. I don't want to keep buying them. Is there a way to just
No.
you put them on gently, I guess, now?
But there
I
is.
should have known.
I do have little cards to kind of show you how to do it. Yes, definitely gently.
There's
There
gloves
is
you can
gloves
get, yeah.
that you can get, and you kind of like pull on. So they are a little bit of a workout to get on.
They certainly
they
are.
are.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, some depending
it's
on
my
the
workout.
compression. Depending
Yeah,
on the
okay.
compression, you know, some people are like, "Holy dying."
No, it's not that bad.
Getting them out of them is
The
a
leggings
challenge.
are definitely a little bit of a workout,
Oh, are
but
they
once you
really?
get them on, you're great.
And then you're never taking them off.
No.
The beautiful thing is you shared with us just not much information before the show at all, except that you've been wearing them and you do not have veins because
No.
you started 15 years ago
Yeah,
and have
I
these
did.
healthy, vein-free legs.
Yeah.
That's a great promotion, isn't it, for why you should wear them?
Have they come a long way? Because compression socks have been around for a while.
Oh, they have, and they were like, you know, mostly you could only get this one kind, and they're like rubber and
No,
like
rubber.
the color
I've
of
seen
this
them, yes.
table. You know, and people they have that misconception in their head that these are what compression socks look like. They have like they are no longer dull and boring like that. There's
And they
a
feel
sea
comfortable.
oh, and there's like a Sea Island cotton pair that you just pull on. You don't even realize that you have
I'm going there.
that you have compression socks on.
Yeah.
So
Oh, wow.
yeah, and working out, we have sleeves. If you don't like things on your feet,
They're
the
Audrey.
feet are out.
So do
Yeah.
we make an appointment with you, or do we just show up?
You can show up. I usually my hours are 9 to 5. Like I'm in the Chatham location.
Well,
I have
we-
my own office. You show up.
We have
you
to
can call
go.
me.
But you're Junket
Thank
in
you.
Chatham. For anyone watching,
Yes.
we want to have Melissa back again sometime. Grab another coffee or a nice glass of water, and we're going to be back. Thank you, Melissa Hanley.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for having
Great
me today.
information. Yeah. Thank you, and welcome back to Have a Chat, everybody. I'm pleased that you could join us this afternoon for our show. Again, Audrey Lynch is with me, and Veronique Arsenault, who I love spending time with. And now we're joined by our second guest of the day, Dylan Ryan.
Hello.
Welcome back.
It's great to be back.
A year almost.
Yeah, I know.
And
Almost a year.
I'm shocked. You said that when you sat down, and I'm like, no, it hasn't been a year. but
Flies
Isn't
by.
that incredible?
No, we had such a good time last time.
Right.
It's great to be back.
Sure
Just like it was
did.
yesterday.
And you are a musician, you're a producer,
Right.
and you're also now in the midst of a wonderful project with the Dr. Logier Middle
Right.
School
Yeah.
in Miramichi East.
I can't wait to hear all about
I
this.
know because you filled me in vaguely, but the viewers have no idea what's been happening in such a positive way with this school and your mentoring. So let's talk about it.
Right. Well, about a year ago, a friend of mine who works in the school system, he was saying, well, you should sign up through this artist in residency program through like Arts New Brunswick. He said you might be really good at it. And so I took the test and I became on the artist in residency like list of people that they can draw from. So I think that I'm one of the few from District 16.
Big district too.
Yeah. So basically, nothing really came of that right away, but about 5 or 6 months ago, Krista Hutchison, a teacher from Dr. Logier Middle School, reached out, and she was like, would you have any interest in working on a music project? And we didn't really have any agenda at the start of it. We were just kind of thrown at different ideas of what we could do. Like, it was really kind of an open canvas, so I really wanted to make the most out of it and see just how much we could get done on that budget and like how much time we would have with the students. So I shot big, and luckily we were able to get a lot done.
That's what you do. You shoot for the moon.
right.
Right.
It just can happen. If it doesn't, it wasn't meant to be, but it's happening. And I want to give a plug into Krista. She's a very talented musician herself.
Amazing.
A wonderful. I've done acting with her, and I've seen her, perform musically, like on what is she, a pianist as well as
Yeah.
a song,
Yeah, very good
a singer, beautiful singer. And so you worked in collaboration with Krista on this.
Right. And 2 other teachers as well, Sherry Munn and Krista Cable.
Very nice.
Yeah, it's been a great collaboration. I've learned a lot from all of them. Like, it's been a really inspiring process, not only from the teachers but the students. Like,
How
that's
many
what
students are you working with right now?
38 students at once.
Wow.
And pretty much since day one, I was like, I don't know if I really want to teach the class in a classroom. I was like,
Yeah.
let's teach it in the theater. Let's make it less kind of
Structured.
yeah. And I was like, make it a bit more free-formed, a bit more collaborative, get people
Relaxing.
inspired, like, and not so like, this is what we're gonna do. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I
It's
do.
like,
They can be more involved this way.
right. And I just think like collaboration and democracy is really important part of art.
Yes, it is.
And like, I didn't want it to feel like a math class or
No,
something.
no.
Right.
Too structured is not fun.
Yeah.
It's not fun. Nobody's relaxed enough, and they feel like they are in another class, like a subject,
Yeah.
as opposed to an artistic type of a
You
of a
know,
plan
I
that
want
you
them
have.
to look forward to it and like look forward to coming into class and knowing that they'll get to express themselves and express like what they would like to do. Because that was like pretty much the first month of the process was finding out like, well, what are your interests? What are your favorite bands? What do you like to do? Or do you have an interest in drawing, acting, music? Like, what is it?
It's not just like most of it's music, right? But
Well-
it's multimedia, right?
Right. I mean, the music part is just like, because it's easy to attach that because that's what I do
Right.
for a living, like I'm a musician. But we also have like a documentary. We had a student film every day of the process, which would become a 45-minute documentary. On
And so
the
they learned like
day-to-day.
how to edit and all of those things.
Right, yeah, and we also did a music video, which just got done editing just within the last couple days.
Wow.
And
Now,
we
who
also,
was in that? Like, so is it boys, girls ratio, like pretty much even, or?
right, I mean, like even some people that didn't play on the actual track, they were like, well, I'd like to be like a character in the video.
Oh, okay.
So it was basically like assigning a role for each student.
That's beautiful.
Because I didn't want to like try and force anyone into something that they
No.
didn't feel natural about. I was more just trying to encourage them to go further with what they like to do already. And like, we're going to be releasing physical copies of the song and the documentary and video. So we have some students working on artwork for that.
Oh my.
because there was certain students that were like, oh, I don't really feel comfortable being in the video, and I'm not really comfortable being in on the song. And I was like, well, maybe let's try something else. Like you can do the artwork.
Right.
So it was basically just trying to find something for everybody that they felt comfortable with.
How much time do you spend? How much does this involve? Is it after school you get together for how many hours a week?
Well, it's
Or in school?
4 days a week in the school. Second half of the day. It's part of their humanities. Like yeah.
Okay.
It is part of their curriculum.
Right. It's like, I think in the last couple of years at Dr. Loge, like language arts and social studies and arts have all become kind of like one amalgamated thing. So,
Right.
I'm so proud of you. Would you have thought that you were going to do this like 10 years ago? Could you foresee
Last
yourself?
year.
No, but
No.
I know Dylan from when he was in kindergarten?
right.
Because
yeah.
he's my son's age,
Yeah.
and I mean, you were always like a very sociable young man, but you just seemed to have blossomed when you knew that your artistic ability was just on the rise and that you had
Right.
that. Then your confidence grew from it, right?
I think so. And I think that I knew that I wanted to offer more to music and arts than just being someone that writes songs. Like
Exactly.
opportunities like this are very like crucial to my creativity, and just doing something that's a little different and outside the box of what I would normally do kind of just help manifest what I'm doing already.
That's amazing. So what's the next step? So you're about to, so you've just finished shooting the music video and you're all ready with that piece and the documentary.
Right. I would like to give a plug to a guy that I helped bring into the process, James McLafferty. He's a local recording engineer. So he helped us.
I didn't know we had a local
I didn't
recording
know.
engineer.
Yeah, he owns a studio called Mobium Productions.
Oh.
He helped me do some of the recording process for the song, and he's been a real help in the editing process for the video as well.
Amazing.
So
Is this song an original or?
yes, it's an original
Oh, okay,
song.
'cause I was like,
it's
ooh.
called The Legacy Within. The students wrote all the lyrics,
Wow,
and
Dylan.
they played the
Wow.
music on it, and
We should have them on.
I
Yeah.
would love to.
that would be awesome.
Right.
I wish
It's
they
an
had a
original
class like
song, we could
that.
do that.
When we were in school, it would have been nice to have that as part of humanity.
We
Yes.
did not do that.
We did
when I
not.
was in school.
I would have loved it because I'm like
Yeah.
very theatrical and I love that
Yeah.
component of arts and everything.
Right.
And we missed out on people like you having to come on board with us.
Well, like the lyrical content of it, I was just so astonished at what like great like metaphors and imageries they were bringing to the table when it came to lyrics. like the lyrical content, the springboard for that was we wanted to have like a multicultural based song, and like how like Miramichi is a growing community, very inclusive.
Very much so. Great
And
gaining. Yeah.
so yeah, basically they came up with a lot of metaphors and really good imagery for that. So I'm very proud of like the writing on that track.
Well, you're a writer yourself, so you
Yeah.
can appreciate it. I'm
So-
just impressed because kids, teenagers do, I hate to say it, get a bad rap.
Oh, for
Yeah.
sure.
They get
Yeah.
a bad rep a lot of the time, and there's so many wonderful young people out there. If we just give them a chance like you're giving those kids and showing them that they are creators of masterpieces
Well, just
such
giving
as
them so many other venues to be able to be creative, whether it's sports or academics or
Right.
to shine,
the arts.
to shine where they're
Well,
gifted.
And I think it's so much tougher to be a kid nowadays
is.
than when I was,
Oh.
in middle school or high school. I mean, don't get me wrong, there were, tough moments too, but like they're constantly bombarded by,
social media.
yeah, like
And
it's
being,
constant stimulation
Yeah.
from every angle. So, to be able to find that creative outlet for
Right.
that is amazing, right?
Well, like I said, it's very much about being a democratic process and not coming in with any kind of preconceived notion, being like, hey, we're going to do this. I just really wanted to know what they wanted to do.
And that's the form of a good teacher. That's a good style to have.
Yeah.
Let them be them, and you just
Yeah.
oversee it all and guide them.
Right.
That's what a good teacher does.
well, you get an idea maybe of a thought or an idea that maybe didn't come across your mind by
Yeah.
asking them what they think and what they feel and what they want to do.
I really wanted to stress like the human interaction and the human collaboration and like how important that is.
What's next? So now you're at this part. So how much more time do you get to spend with them, and what's next for them?
Well, we're on March break right now, but I have another week with them after the March break. Then on March 18th, which is a Wednesday night, we're going to be doing a public showing of
wonderful.
our documentary,
Oh.
our music video. And we're also going to have like a reception where we're going to have young aspiring singer-songwriters playing, which is to be announced. But so we're looking for more acts. If there's anyone that's in middle school or high school that wants to sing a song or
How
two.
nice is that? Too bad we're past the age.
And
But
I just immediately thought of Danae. My goodness, she gets wind of that. She'll be all
She
over
will,
that.
and
Oh,
she
absolutely.
encourage it. March
She's
18th.
actually went
Yeah.
ahead and wrote her own lyrics because
Yeah.
someone had told her that if she ever wants to find out her own voice, because she does a
Right.
lot of karaoke singing and things like that, but to find out what she sounds like, who she is
Exactly.
as an artist and as a singer. So Terry Whalen had actually encouraged her to write some of her own lyrics, and she actually put a little tune to it, and
That's wonderful.
she started that little process and sent me the little video, and I was like, wow.
That's
you
a
know?
while, but that was a point A to B. Now could be a B to C with Dylan intervening.
I know.
Absolutely.
Why not let her go your way and see how much
I'd love that.
creativity?
Definitely.
So again, March 18th, you're going to showcase the documentary
Yeah,
at the
it's gonna-
Dr. Logier Middle School.
Yep, from
Theater.
7 to 9.
7 to 9, March 18th, a Wednesday night. And
Yeah.
admission, is it Goodwill? Is it drop-in? Is it
It's-
paying a
it's-
ticket?
It's free admission, but we will be selling CDs of the song
Oh, nice.
and
Oh,
DVDs
wow.
of the documentary and video. Basically, all the proceeds will go to another like school-related fund, whether it be the drama fest or just putting into like instruments for the school.
This
So
is
So
wonderful.
what class or program was this called? What was the name of it?
it's under humanities.
It is under
Yes,
humanities.
Yeah.
What are you most surprised about with the young people you've worked with? I mean, you said that you were very taken and happy with the fact that they were able, their processing and their minds were so good to come together and make it one big project. But what are you most surprised about with the youth in general, individually, like young boys, young girls?
I would say just how like they're just willing to try anything. Basically, like I could throw some crazy idea. Well, let's try this, and they'd be like, "Okay, let's give it a try."
Oh my goodness.
Yes, not resistant to change
Right.
or to
Yeah.
new ideas. That's a really
You know,
good
and they can be objective enough to be like, "Oh, that's working," or "That's not." And I think vice versa for myself. It's about just trying things and seeing what works and what doesn't.
But are you surprised looking back at, like, you're still a young man,
Right.
under the age of 30, so are
Yeah.
you surprised looking back at to when you were that age, what opportunities they have in this day and
Well,
age?
it's interesting because I think like the country now has a lot more arts and music grants to bring people like myself into schools to do
Right.
that. And I think that's really important that like the country really enforces the idea and embraces our art. So
Yeah, and it's, you know, we have long been a sports oriented community, which is wonderful. We've had incredible success in the sports world, and I love to see, you know, that other piece, and like the regional music festival is another one.
Right.
But just to see that creative piece, and we see them going time after time to you know, Drama Fest and everything. So, you know, I love the fact that, you know, Drama Fest and sports are almost equal in our world, and that, you know, that they're supported, and everybody wants, you know, somebody to participate. And now that we have you having this opportunity as an artist in residence is amazing, because you know, we need to go back to more of that. We need to go back to the trades as well. We need to, you know, give people an outlet to find their way in this world, because the world is a tough place, and we need to support them.
I agree totally with you.
What I love about it is this day and age compared to when we were, not so much Dylan, but when we were younger, of that younger age, the tools that the young people have now, that access to be able to be creative on that level. It blows my mind. Like when I see my daughter make these kinds of videos and, you know, be able to, the lighting and the sound and I'm like, how are you doing that? And
like even the difference from when I was 13, 14 to when these kids are 13, 14, it's
You
like
see
an
a difference.
exponential difference.
It is, right? So
Like so many more tools.
So
at
why
your
not
disposal.
tap into that?
Right.
And use
Embrace
it.
what we have.
Exactly.
Right.
Do you have any of your own shows coming up, Dylan?
I have a few out of town ones. I'm playing in Salisbury March 27th and in Moncton April 4th.
Great. And things are going well?
Yeah, really busy. This has been taking up most of my time, but yeah.
I'm sure.
But no regrets. You're just seeing such leaps and bounds that you're
Well, it's been
thinking,
so inspiring for me too. It like really helps my own art, I think.
For sure. And I want to give, Krista's away now on vacation, but she
Right.
wanted to say how amazing you are.
Yeah.
And that she loves working with you, and that she couldn't be here and would love to have been here. But she just said the kids look up to Dylan, and that you're doing a wonderful job mentoring and teaching your skill and bringing out theirs.
Isn't that amazing?
Yes, it is. It's nice to get good feedback on what you're doing when you put so much heart and soul into something.
Yeah, Krista and I make a really good team when it comes to this project. Like, she's been really inspiring, like, just seeing how she interacts with the students. Like, she's always, like, very enthusiastic, and it's nice to see that, like,
Totally.
yeah.
It's
So
all
the CD is going to be for sale.
Yep.
Yes.
And what's the
Okay.
song called again?
The Legacy Within,
The
Can I ask
legacy
how much
within.
they will be? We'll bring how much money with us? to support
$5.
Oh
$5
my
for a
gosh.
CD.
We
People
can
should
afford
buy a
that.
few and give them away
We
too.
can afford that.
Yes.
Yes.
Definitely.
And there's a nice
definitely.
seating capacity at the
Yeah.
school, at the middle school.
288.
That's
for
a
the
lovely
seats,
number.
yeah.
We can fill that.
Yeah, so it's the 18th of March.
Yes,
And we're
7
gonna-
p.m.
Yeah, and we're gonna have Mill Cove Coffee there as a sponsor. They're gonna be serving coffee and hot chocolate and maybe some sweets too. So.
We do draw
Yeah.
I feel like
in.
that's a Wednesday evening. I don't
Yeah.
know why.
It is a Wednesday.
It is
I
a
feel
Wednesday.
like it is.
Yeah.
I'm like, why do I?
Audrey's
think,
like,
why? What's up with you?
My psychic ability. Yeah. No, but yeah, the 17th I think is St. Patty's
It
Day,
is.
so this would be definitely.
oh, that's right. Yeah.
We have
Right.
a rain date. If it should be our typical St. Patty's storm day, would you move it if it's that week, a storm?
Yeah, probably to the Thursday or possibly the week after.
Okay. But it's a
uh,
plan. It's a
yeah,
solid plan. Are the kids
right.
really excited?
Oh, they are, yeah.
I
Pumped.
can't wait.
Me too.
I can't wait.
Well, I
Always
love
something
watching
going on in
young
Miramichi.
people. Get
Always.
Danae there, your daughter. Like
Yeah.
this is her
This
lead
is
in.
right up her alley. She's always looking for different places to be able to, you know, express herself on that level instead of just in her room with the microphone and the karaoke machine and all the stuff I keep buying her and stuffing her in her bedroom.
Like I
But
said,
where?
anyone that's younger that wants to participate
Right.
in the show part of it,
So you're still looking for
still
acts?
looking
Okay.
for people.
Okay.
Wonderful.
I'm really happy
can't wait.
about that.
Yeah.
And I'm really happy that you got back on our show.
Yeah, I'm
Because
really happy
your
to be
band,
back.
we're going to wrap up, but your band is the Romantics. Is that?
Dylan Ryan and the Dream Romantic.
Oh, the dream? You got to get that dream in there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because it was your dream to become a band member and to take it as far as you've taken it.
And it also looks good on paper because it's my
We
name,
have to
Dylan
say
Ryan.
goodbye. Look, you've been awesome, everybody. Tune in next week for more. And thank you to Dylan Ryan and Veronique and Audrey. We've been just very pleased to be with you today. Have a great week, everybody. Thank you, Dylan.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for watching.